What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Jared Big Baby Anderson and Charles I Walk This Earth Like a God Martin. This is the breakdown of the fight at hand. Very interesting fight between Big Baby and Charles Martin. Now, what we seen was Jared coming in fast, accurate, quicker, but not the stronger of the two. And I think Jared Anderson, came in with his jab. He came in working the body, which was smart, jabbing to the body, which was smart. A lot of people expected this fight not to go the distance. And it got very interesting because of the size of Charles Martin. Okay, the size of Charles Martin was alarming to me. And Charles was the slower. He couldn't get the timing down at first because of just the speed of Anderson. He's young, he's fresh, he's quick, and he showed that hey, I can put these combinations together. He's also a switch hitter. And in the third round, he caught Martin with a right and he went down and he got right back up. But see, Martin was also a guy that was just getting into his groove. Well, round 4, Charles Martin showed him that, hey, I can hit you and hurt you. And this was the first time in this young kid's career that we seen him hurt. We seen his legs wobbly. We seen him, those legs do that dance that shows you that, hey, I'm hurt. And Charles Martin showed people that, hey, I can hurt this kid. And then that's when the output of Jared Anderson changed. It became less constant. It became, here and there. It became more of in spots rather than constant. So, Charles definitely got his respect. And throughout the fight, it was kind of like a nail biter because the times when Charles would land, he would show you oh my God, this is really affecting Anderson. And it just showed you that the punching power from Charles was so much greater in effect than Jared Anderson's. Now, Jared Anderson, even though he got the knockdown, which I think it was a flash knockdown, he was putting punches together, and he started throughout the end of the fight, the maybe 7th or 8th, 9th, 10th round. But here and there, you could see Martin land that straight left. And that was like an alarming, to the crowd of Toledo, there to support their hometown guy, which is 14-0 with 14 KOs, was just this prodigy knocking over guys, beating guys up, showing them what's what, hanging out with Roy Jones Jr. And it also showed you that, hey, this guy can also be knocked out because we're in the heavyweight division. Okay? One punch can do it all. And the crazy thing about this fight, it was like that from the 4th round all the way to the 10th. And the last 10 seconds, Charles Martin landed a straight left on Jared Anderson that could have been the ascending of getting him out of an upset. So the question you ask yourself is, what happens now with a guy like Jared Anderson? The assessment is he can take a punch. He handled it well. Not great, but he handled it well. And we also seen that he can respond back, but he also does not have the punching power like most of these heavyweights, okay? Like these big, strong dudes, 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", and he has to show that he has to stay on point. He's more of a kind of a Michael Hunter-like guy. I think he's maybe a little quicker than Michael Hunter, but imagine someone like Michael Hunter that's able to, box with him. I think that would be a very, very interesting fight as well. And I also think that at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, Jared Anderson has to stay on his P's and Q's because he doesn't have that knockout power to shut down a fight that he's losing. So if he begins losing a fight, the interesting thing to know is how good will he be? Will he raise that gear? Does he have another gear to be raised? You know, what happens if he gets hit with a guy that's younger than Charles Martin, that's faster, that has the power? You know, these are challenges that's going to happen in Anderson's career, that this fight here alone opens up a whole new set of questions for Anderson. Nonetheless, he got the respect from Charles Martin, but Charles Martin himself also got the respect of being a former IBF champion. Okay? He's a dangerous guy, and I don't think that other fighters are just over him. That claims to be over him until you get in the ring with him. Okay? And I don't think this should be about bashing Anderson. Anderson is a guy, this is his 15th pro fight. Okay? He's 23 years of age. And like I told guys on the hundreds that came, or the thousands that came to my live stream, thank you guys for coming in. But once you raise opposition, the KOs stop. Okay? So I think we should look at the attitude, the mentality of Martin, that he had nothing to lose, that he is a force to be reckoned with, and he is still dangerous in the heavyweight division. Shout out to Anderson. He still shows that he needs to grow some more. He shows that, you know, there are things that he could always work on. He hasn't reached that peak that people claim that he's at. He doesn't supposed to in 15 pro fights. I don't think he's peaked yet. But he was still able to take a punch. He didn't go down from those punches. He was hurt from those punches. You know, and it just shows you that, hey, he has the heart and desire of a possible champion one day. But the question is, against or with who? But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Jared Anderson winning a unanimous decision. The first fight that he goes the distance against Charles. I walk this earth like a god, Martin. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!